Good day to all guys. Today day 4 we are going to the CSS style formatting. As we before day 3 we are going to full go through about hypertext markup language. So today we are seeing the CSS style. It is the color formatting one. So it is a foundation of every user interface. We are going to build website, app and whatever it may be. So what is CSS? CSS stands for cascading styling sheets. It's a visual layer. The names, which means override with each other the based on specifically. It will feel up a style sheet means it will write the style separately from the content. Like for example, adding colors, fonts, spacing layouts, and animation. These are all without CSS. For example, we are looking towards Instagram. It have a beautiful color and attractive font, spacing the animation, whatever it is. It upon the 1990s text file. So analogy of the CSS is a skin, clothes and HTML skeleton. Like HTML gives you button, CSS decided the blue shaped button. So the shadow and flag should be the rectangle. So the structure of the CSS with stale CSS, which is behavior of JS, it's a movable one. It is an architect of the three with forming the trio. It makes a website as well as the app. The separation is critical. HTML with what is CSS and what is looks like the JS. It will never be the HTML makes the bold and CSS is a job. And CSS to the store data with HTML and JSS. You must note it down. CSS will store the data which is that interlinked to HTML and CSS. Adding the CSS to HTML, it's an important way to the branching structure. Like we using an inline. Avoid to refuse 20 buttons, to copy paste 20 times. The reason note it's like a nightmare. So instead of using the internal like a style tag, we use the single page only. It's a good quick text for email templates. We have 5 pages a duplicate of 4 to 5 times. Or we are using the instead of external. It be using the link at the interlink. We are showing live example in the upcoming videos how to interlink that. In this video we are seeing the external using refuses the page, the link to connect the HTML and CSS page easily. Change one. Now the setup to see create a style.css in the same folder while we using the HTML as we before you created in a day 3. We and that folder you need to create the style.css file. You may start coding now. Like what are the rules means, tag selector is a very important, like tag elements like h1 tag we are using the HTML that we are using the class selector as of now .card, the refusable components like HTML, the division class tag and refuse the card the 100 times is a 90% proportional CSS. So next is ID selector. We are using the header tag is used the ID high specifically. In Cascade lights avoid a staining and prefer classes. Multiple sectors we are using h1, h2, h3. There's a family arrival. It's don't repeat it yourself as well as in the code architect. Now using the commands like CSS slash star and it end up with star slash. It's the label of the commanding line. Now we see the essential styling properties like Flexbox model. Like it's under the on screen, it have the styling properties plus box model explained bracket. Let me explain first for Flexbox in detail in the other combo. Like typography means you all know it is a color palette, readability and font size and pop-ins and bold line height, bold font size. These are all the main come under the typography. And once you see the analogy, you better understanding how the Flexbox has been fixing to the CSS category. Now see the Flexbox. You usually identify the width, height, border and the padding margin and content padding. These are all comes under the Flexbox. The parents display the Flexbox with the magic switch, which is the flex properties work. The flex item should be the direct children to the flex container, which is direct to the division and button block as well as. The access concept is the main access to define the flex direction and the main routine of the horizontal cross axis perpendicular to the main and the vertical mean align the properties as the each master of the Flexbox clicks. Now you are able to see the all content of the visual, how the Flexbox come aligned with the CSS cascaded styling sheets, the space around space evenly, the center packed and space between the flex start. These are the justified content of the main axis. And comes upon to the align items, we have the flex start, flex end and stretch. Next we are going to see the gap. It is a 20 px at the space between the gap, which means the margin of the collapse with the children cleaner would be between the knot outside the edge. With the wrapping means to overflow the wrapping items. It alignment of the phone, whatever the website page means, it will align 20 px 30 px, we are going to mention as such. Next we are going to the flex grow, flexing and flex basis and flex shorthand and align self. These are under the flex item properties. It is set a default and control its strings, and the main grow the string basis up to the 0, and the align self must be container align items. The center should be the bottom of the button. The navigation bar should be the left of the link. Now we see the live example of CSS criteria. Let's see, I just build under file, as I said in the entire video. You just made a CSS style.css file. You just see whatever the margin, navigation and hero section and the flexbox including, and alignment should be maintained at the whatever it may be. You just put the 30x or 20x should be the margin of the alignment of the pages. And we should color and whatever the bold fonts, internal and external and ID selector, color, fonts, margin, padding, content, everyone should. As of now, you entered the all criteria in the CSS. You need to interlink HTML and CSS is a very must do it, because without you interlinking the HTML CSS page, there is no clearance and output of the visible. So what are the changes we are making? The margin, fonts, bold and color pages, you must interlink with HTML page, like we include in the header tag. Highlighting the line, you must read it once and note it down. This is an interlink. You must interlink with CSS and HTML page. It is a very must important line to note it down. After you interlink with the CSS page, you must open the live server to see the desirable output. Important line, you must open the live server in HTML page only. Now see in day 3 we are seeing the very like what are the fonts and the lines only. But now see the page was we highlighting the black and header and footer has been changed and come upon the copyrights page at the center, and the bold and fonts and margin lines at the alignment with the respective CSS code. That's why what are the changes you may made means you just click it and save it. It is a must one. You just what are the criteria you need to change, you must click the save button. After that you open the live server, you just check again what are the changes we have made it. It looks like a very professional one now compared to the day 3. So hope you guys understand. Thank you for watching.